It makes the previous board look bad. We're the second. And we got the call. You know, there you go.
It's still on.
There we go.
I'm down there. And my old son was down there.
Just trying to get shit in order.
I know, because everything was bad.
They try to dig up everybody
So it was embarrassing.
I was trying to look at this car out, and you basically called me an asshole.
That's their job.
It's not As a community, if you want to do something to help the community, when it doesn't. Okay, why?
That's right. Exactly. You guys shit fun and Mike's laughing, Kathy's snickering, and shaking her head laughing. They're trying to help. They don't want you to help. It's awesome.
Well, I was just asking you guys, looking at it, he's the one that's hands-on, that drives that truck, so nobody has to hear me.
I'm Phil Herman, assistant engineer.
6,000. The road.
Okay, so 100,000 is more than plenty of 5 years. And that's the truck, that would be the new truck.
For 6 or even 10 miles. It's really big. You know, so.
You did the 5 years. That's why I'm looking at the best bang for the buck versus time-wise versus yeah, I mean, even if you pretend that, you're good. The lowest mileage is 100,000. The highest year was 100,000. 5 years, 100,000. You need to go up the years or the miles, but the mileage is, the miles is low. There's time, actually, you want to get the most time for the money. That's why I was looking at it.
You wanna go on?
That's what I get, but I have no idea what the miles was, that's why I was asking. And what I don't have first-hand knowledge of that, what I'm saying, but he said, the numbers, it sound like, you don't make stuff, but you don't make stuff, the numbers like you have.
Yeah, she had to show me the other day. I
In
didn't.
the
So if you go.
57 for this year, she said.
No, we had the same figures there.
They were flipped years ago, because she said this year would be 63.
No. Last year.
Can you see the road?
I gotta get on and come back. Yeah, I just looked on the tax website on the GS.
You can look at the
So we would stop to do like. Because Kathy heard that.
I thought they were going to so much, what she said, what she
But according to county tax, part of it, basically from the state line to the highway is owned by homeowners.
So you're saying that it was 63,000 last year for everything, but it's going to be
That's the only
26,000
information I have
just
on
for
so
you.
far.
Which is
It would be really nice.
That's why I-
Just calculating it like, they're doing it.
It's crazy.
Because one direction,
More people have
no, no,
No, but I mean, like, yeah, one direction, and then
Yeah.
one back.
Well, that's your thing.
Once if we can just make
That's
it
it,
to.
for 2 people.
Rest stop.
Yeah, it passed the rest stop, it has been found out everything sold in.
But the whole thing came about because I asked
Rest
him,
stop, and
because
then
my
it goes
lot
over
out,
where
was
the
it
house
covered?
line is, which is like just past Dollar General. After that hill,
My
there's
other
like a
insurance, I asked him for
burrito or
like 40
something
bucks a
business
month.
there to the right, it's like a double.
Do you have
Yeah.
a supplemental net up there?
Yeah.
They wanted.
So there's nothing that's still.
Cause I know that, because I did all that
railroad
shit for my
track right
dad.
away
I
from
know
that
all
line,
those
basically
there.
to the
And
Walker
like
Center, all that's
the-
been
had to
done.
do- he did
But what is
supplemental
unfortunate is
rate.
Buffalo
Okay,
Townships,
look into. I
railroad
did
tracks
send
are
it to
actually
her.
under Buffalo
Had that
Township
shit
Rail
to radio on
District.
people.
So they have actually already
Um,
started,
through-
what they, yeah, well, they actually
Wow.
already,
Yeah.
yeah, they have already started.
I just had
their
it,
process, but
I
they've
just had
never
a kidney out and it cost me
Because
like.
that whole railroad that goes through Buffalo Township
GPMC
is
for
under,
life was.
the name on, the public
Back
name
to
is
the
Buffalo Township Rail Center.
It's different than UPMC.
The only error was-
I used to have UPMC.
When it all gets to the
Like
final,
that
it'll be like,
is
because
like-
there's no way I'm remembering. That was always our biggest
They
error.
have a contract with Medicare where it overrides that insurance.
Right, you want to put a date up on
Really,
it.
good
Well,
rate
that's
coverage.
what I, when I talked to these people about the opt-out, because Medicare, and Medicaid, and they're gonna pay
But it's not little
70% of it anyway.
Right.
So this insurance company, that was gonna pay $20,000, or $25,000 a year to
Right.
cover me, wasn't gonna pay a damn thing.
A certain section, we want a little bit of parking.
But at the end of this
The
year,
other thing would be nice to
I was
do
gonna
is
take their
somewhere-
insurance because they're gonna be giving $30. They're gonna pay $26,000.
Yeah, that's where Tom is, so when I talked to him, I said, I asked them about
So
that,
you
and
don't
he said
have
they
others
had
right now?
some parts around here that he could
Just not
see
here.
about them donating.
That would be-
But where it was, that is
What's
correct.
that?
He said you're on Medicare, right?
Yeah.
No, it is, wait. I don't know.
Pardon?
I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah, but I have a supplementary health, yeah. What's your deal
And
here?
if they say about-
Well, I was,
Right.
the rest of the guys don't pay anything for the health insurance, okay. I had to pay for
There is
my Medicare, but it's still.
I talked to the other day. I was thinking of it like
My
there's one.
supplementary health insurance.
So that's where my
I have.
That's what I'm like, that. Why are we?
Why are they not?
They're not gonna have any answers. And that's something that everybody on the board, you know, they think we're figure something out.
It wasn't crazy about
Well, imagine what it would be. Holy cow, I want to see that.
I had health insurance.
You know what?
I had my first two checks, and after that, I followed up.
I know that.
The third one was and that was in April. Last April, we had to do something.
Yeah.
But that didn't know where I was going.
Okay. I don't even look that way. I don't know what happened.
And Bob's like, that's wrong.
Yeah, but if they were willing to spend $26,000 for
There's,
700,000 a month.
that used to be a big talk.
And that's
Yeah, I know where you're at, yeah.
And then we would go out where it meets.
And they said, well, no, we're not gonna do it. They're gonna gamble that I have to go.
There was one.
The neighbors
Okay,
Okay.
to make our.
Actually, I know the first one, so I know.
Okay.
It's your chance, they won.
My mother's It was married to a water company. They would be one.
They wanna screw me around, you know,
They
they're
got
not.
that property
You have,
and they inherited it from the Tiverton guy. And they so it decided to take the ball field. And so they're making.
Their problem is, they can't, we are open.
No, we don't even do that.
They can't screw me around.
So,
You know?
and yours and
Like Tammy says, well, figure don't lie. I said,
That's
that's
something that we,
right.
yeah,
That's why I got one right here in black. Let her bring hers out in black.
that's the
They were.
Further practice. So that's where you have to have somebody.
Times a year. Boys were practicing. Every time they would throw a ball into the basketball.
You're feeling good. Come on up.
But that situation is where we would have to have.
Okay, that could be wrong. Traffic.
Yeah, they're quick. Especially, yeah, I can see that house.
They had a big. It's called Bridge.
So it would benefit them because they're gonna.
Yeah, that's something that's really cool. Is that we wanted to make sure that help them on their goals and then they come back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can update about that's what it is. We had a meeting right there. They said, I'm gonna write something up.
Yeah.
And they used up to stay in.
Yeah, we've done.
I want to hear what you have to say.
We've done 6 weeks. We're revenue the open house, so that's absolutely something we'd love to do.
I mean, I'm really informal anyways, I mean, no decisions are gonna be made.
No, we just,
That's
but
what
I want to hear what we have, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hear what we have to say, and decide what you want.
it's up to you, if you want me to talk about it.
I want to hear it, 'cause I'd like to know.
Exactly, and do like a dance run, the only issue that I can see where it is that is like fairness to have
Well, and then it's, yeah.
and that's something that we would have to like, and it would be great to have it there. We could also do it here. So I mean, there would just be a
Wow.
and then we talk about just going up until you're made and then like.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, we're back from executive session at 8:17, where we discussed potential litigation and personnel. And since we feel that the advertisement for this meeting was not up to snuff, we are going to not take any action at this meeting. We are, however, going to have a presentation by,
Phil Harmer from Senate.
if you want to stay, and then we're going to adjourn the meeting
And what about
immediately.
the girls that are here for
The Parks and Rec, if you wanna give me your letters, we'll do that whenever we do the next one. This week,
Okay,
next week, whatever.
so Phil from Senate Engineering.
Well, as most of you probably know, we were the engineer of record, for Donegal Township for a time. And we are no longer the engineer of record, but we have projects that we're completing. And one of them is, that I'm involved with. I'm not involved with anything other than Jansen Road. Again, I was asked to come to speak about the dirt and gravel, low-volume road grant program that is available for your participation on an annual basis. Jansen Road was submitted back in 2016. You were awarded a $160,000 grant to improve the drainage on the road and to improve some of the driving surface on that road. Pardon me? Oh.
You gotta find the road.
Yeah.
Find the road first.
It's off of,
Dutch Fork Creek.
Dutch Fork Church Road, and then connects to 231. We're improving about 1,800 feet of the road. We're replacing a 36-inch culvert with a 9'3" arch that the Washington County Conservation District deemed necessary. Don't ask me why, that was the
They're pretty.
the geniuses
That's why.
as smart at PSU sized it for us, okay? And so we permitted it right now, and we improved about 200 feet of a failing Gabion basket wall. We reconstructed a jumbo block wall. We installed a culvert. Now, this went through several iterations because at one point in time, we were requested to consider a phase 2 on that road, but we never proceeded with it. We were never authorized to proceed with it. This is a grant program through Washington County Conservation District that is available to you for various roads within your community. The box has been set. The road is not open right now, but we hope that we will accomplish that in a couple weeks. And then, I'm not really here as a representative of Senate. I'm here as a private citizen who I've been tasked with completing this project. So if anybody has any questions about it, I'm more than willing to answer as best I can.
You're putting 9-foot culvert in.
9'3" wide, 3'3" high.
24-inch culvert below that.
It's a 36, and that's what the
I'm sorry,
concerns are.
5 foot.
Because once our culvert is working, then it will bombard the one down, the next one down.
So then Jansen Road's underwater again.
At one point in time, the conservation requested of us to consider installing the next culvert down. We recommended to do that because we said, we're gonna be here. We're gonna be set up to do it. But when they did their original scoping, they did not consider that culvert. So there has been discussions about you being able to at least replace, but you cannot replace that under your current position as the township with anything different than what's already there. So if you were to go in there and replace it with a 36, now keeping in mind the culvert that goes under Dutch Fork Church Road is a 48. Now that's a state.
That's a state.
Yeah.
road.
That's a state facility, so the county conservation's district about full bank flow, I don't think thinks through the downstream effects of that, at least at this point in time. Your forces have installed 15-inch crossing pipes every 100 feet for about 800 feet of the road, which is very effective because the hillside with all the springs and the water coming down the one hillside can now discharge into the stream effectively without washing out the road. Once the wall is completed and the roadway construction is completed, we're going to soften. There's a big dip in there that causes winter maintenance problems, and now I guess the big thing to keep in mind here is this is an ongoing program that's available for the community, and all you need to do is make the applications, because obviously Washington County Conservation District is willing to aggressively fund these types of projects.
Well, up there where the Gabion wall was, what about the overhang on the west side?
The overhang?
The hillside hanging out over the road?
I can't honestly speak to, I'm not unaware of anything that appears to be, a potential safety
All
hazard.
straight up and then curve around trees.
Oh, well, I mean, vegetation, that's a private property issue, I think, anything like that.
I'm sure the township right away would be there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Well, you don't have really any overhead. I think there's a phone line up there, but I don't think that phone line is active at this point in time. I don't think anybody uses it. We did protect it and maintain it. It's underground for a significant portion, and then it goes overhead, cuts across the road. And we won't compromise that overhead clearance. we hope to increase the width of the road. There's been some failures recently, and we would like to believe that we will be able to address those, even though they're not part of the scope. But we do have excess material, and we're trying to use material that's appropriate for that application, and then you just don't find it washed down the hill. So that's why I'm here. It was to make that presentation to the board and to anybody that is concerned about the status of that, and to make sure that you're aware that that program is an annual ongoing program that can be utilized for, it's called a dirt and gravel and low volume road. So any dirt road or gravel road can be, improvements can be funded by this program. And even high volume roads with less than a 500 ADT a day can be, even if they're paved.
I have a question on that. I think I read through some of that. Does it have to be near a creek? Because I thought that was.
No,
No?
not at all.
Okay.
Also, the program is intended to improve the drainage on the road, not necessarily near a stream or just to improve the drainage. We did one in Reserve Township that was, we installed a series of inlets, tied it into a storm drain system. And they knew full well that the intent was to improve the drainage, and then we paved the road. Because it was a low volume road. All we did was stage a representative of the community at a strategic location. He sat there for 3 hours, between the hours that they specified, verified that it was less than 500 cars a day, and it made the road qualify. And you have to put the apps in, or you're not gonna get funded.
Now, when we talked on it, that you said that there had already been put in for the second part of that, and you thought there might be a chance that we could still continue that.
No, we discussed the phase 2, but it was never.
It was never put in?
It was never put in.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
misunderstood you.
So the logical thing to do would be to do that second culvert that's down that crosses back, and now we're gonna try to improve that road through there, but it'd make perfect sense, because now that they funded phase 1, they're gonna fund phase 2.
Okay.
How much do we pay for that?
Well, right now, the total project cost is you're at about 160. The total project cost is right around 189 with all administrative and associated costs. There became a problem identified with the fact that that road had been tar and chipped, and that the DSA, they have a driving surface aggregate that, I think this whole thing is an experiment between the Conservation District and Penn State. There's this driving surface aggregate they want us to use. And it's a specific aggregate, it's like a dirty 2A. But it has to be certified by Penn State, and it has to be placed in a certain way. And so concerns came up that the road condition for that 1,800 feet was not conducive to the placement of that material. So look into your records, because you submitted for a request for an increase in the contract amount of approximately $19,000 to scarify that whole road. You should have been sent an amendment to the contract back right around February, March, because it was submitted based on what Abby wanted us to do. But I've never seen confirmation of that. So I'm sure that you have it, because the extension of the contract had to occur after February 2nd. I have a copy of it here that I can give you, but it's an unexecuted copy on their part.
Okay.
But I can leave you a copy of it so that
No,
you can chase her
I
down.
think your question is, what's it cost, what part of that does the township pay for, right?
Yes, because we got
The grant was 160, he said, and we're at 188, right?
and we
Yeah.
get a change order
Yeah.
today for $17,450.
That's the change order that you need to confirm. We haven't done any of that work, that's the last phase of the
Yes.
job. You need to confirm that that amendment came through, and it adjusted because what it did was it added 19,000 to your grant money.
Okay.
So that whole change order's been paid by the grant.
Okay.
Okay, so in round figures, you guys are on the hook for Ed's work and the pipe and the material in the
Basically in kind.
right around $20,000.
Okay.
Something like that, in kind and engineering expenses. And as long as that change order was properly executed, which it
What's
had.
when we got the change order today?
Yeah, which it had to,
Yes.
it had to have been done. But don't, you know, until you confirm that, you don't have to sign that change order, because contractor doesn't have to do that work. I mean, it was directed after the fact by the agency. So, but we don't wanna go
Okay.
out there and put 550 ton of DSA on that road and then have it wash into the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but you know, I thought that Abby would've got me a copy of that. Now, honestly, I didn't pursue it hard with her, because she told me that it had been approved by the board, and that, I'm assuming that she distributed an amendment to your contract to you guys. So that's where we stand with that project, and I would recommend that whoever is representing you in these grant applications to continue to put those applications in. They're not difficult. All the exhibits are hand-drawn. Okay, all the pricing is right out of the FEMA equipment manuals. Very easy to do. There's no concurrence letters or anything that you need from any governing agencies like the DEP. But you should continue to put those applications in. And of course, if there's any interest in having us complete Jansen Phase 2, or even the other phase was to go the rest of the way up to 231.
It's up top.
Yeah, and on that road. But that doesn't necessarily need to be your only road. That Dutch Fork Creek Road has a lot of failures on there. And I don't know what the volume of driving is there, but when I'm out there, I don't see a whole lot of cars.
That's a state
State
road.
That's county, or is that state? Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't be surprised that you might be able to
Think you wanna
get some,
fix it? 'Cause
yeah, you might be able to get some drainage improvement money, even on that road. I'm not sure about that.
Church would appreciate that.
But you might, yeah, they're not gonna care if you can get the funding for it. But I have to look into the details of the program guidelines on that. That is true. I didn't think about that. I'm just making comment on the condition of that road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you and everybody else are
Yeah,
driving.
it's dangerous.
All right, with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
We gotta reschedule.
Oh, you want to, yeah, we gotta reschedule the meeting.
I'll say that next week happens to be the 5th week of March. So there are no scheduled meetings on our calendar for the 5th week.
Thank you, by the way.
Surely, call me
Get that
anytime.
copy of that from you.
That the amendment, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say that's for only unpaved roads, or did you say something after that may be?
No, it's
paved roads?
it's for low volume also. It can be a paved road.
You want to say
Since you
today?
guys were our
Tuesday?
engineer at that time, do you have any of the contracts for Ely Road?
Tuesday,
And can it
29th?
be used
Good
applied
for
for that?
everybody?
Don't know anything about anything. This is my only project that I've been tasked to do now.
Yeah, Tuesday the 29th, we're gonna have this meeting.
What day?
Tuesday the 29th, at 7 o'clock at the Township Building,
We will be out.
where you're sitting, yes.
Who on the board is taking care of this grant stuff? That he's talking about? Is anybody?
We're just figuring it all out, but yeah, we're gonna get on.
Tammy and I, the lady from Liquid Fuels came and talked to us about and discussed the areas that would be fixed, and she went and we actually looked at a couple of roads.
Ed's worked on some too.
But we haven't really, we're still trying to get
We
everything else
didn't know
under.
anything about him until she talked to us about him, so, we will look at that this week. And if Ed's done it, we'll discuss it with Ed.
No offense, but you guys have been involved in this township for a couple of years now. You know, I mean, this stuff's been there forever.
Well, the part of this program that's kind of a subtlety is that you have to attend a 2-day training, and Ed attended it. You cannot submit an application unless you attended the training. So he has to sign the applications. Now, that training is ongoing on an annual basis, so anybody that's interested in the program, now, you still need some support.
Actually, we were gonna attend that when the flood happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if you attend the training, you'll get on the formal list, and then you'll have the ability to attend.
We were scheduled to go, and that was the weekend of the flood, and it just, everything just kinda went to shit after that.
When is it again? Because you said annual. Is it like always in,
No, it's not all, they have 4 board meetings that are not formally established. 4 board meetings a year, they're not formally established. You keep lines open with Abby through Washington County, and she'll let you know when the board meetings are coming up, and that's when you get the applications in. Or you can just, you can prepare an application, you can submit it, and she'll hold it till the next board meeting.
which meeting, the training meeting?
Oh, I don't know, I think those are, I don't know the schedule of that.
I was thinking there's one in the spring and one in the fall, because it
Yeah,
is really,
I'm not,
Well, when you missed one this year, I didn't know if you had to wait till next year or you could go.
no, I don't think they expire, so as long as you don't get rid of Eddie, he can sign it.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
How do you vote?
Yes?
Mike, sorry, Kathy?
yes.
I vote yes.
Yep.
Yes.
See you next week.
Here's what you're looking for. It should be signed by the board. Your signature. Yeah.
Okay.
This house is,
I can point that out, can I? I put my mailing address, I put my email address. Yeah, I'll get you another one. Just get it. Okay, I'll just get it.
Are you going to this, you gonna be here tomorrow? Here tomorrow for
Yeah.
11 o'clock here?
Yeah, start here, we'll probably end up out there. Yeah, it's from, yeah. As long as what?
Last time, Dr. She said
That's the best bang for the buck. I talked to Ed about mileage.
No, I don't. Hey, Ed.
They said that, mileage is a factor. Mileage
so I just want you to know,
Yeah.
that's what you should have.
Yeah.
Okay.
2650.
No, it's fine.
That's perfect.
Okay.
No, but he, yeah.
I'm gonna try, wait, let me see.
That's what I want to make sure.
I'm gonna try.